Diddly, 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 diddly. New York. That I'd like to meet pretty woman. Anyway, a flump. It's what it sounds like. The name Flump really gets across what it looks like. Like add some eye stalks on the sploon jellies, and that's what it looks like, basically. Oh, I'm shiny. Oh heck, I'm not capturing you guys' audio. I'm gonna need that.
Watching it, you maybe turn and see a large temple, and it is it's got like marbled pillars and like very Greek styled. Inside you can see like a the avatar of an older man god who has like a staff, and he like
With
you know
a
is
snake.
with we exactly and people are coming to him and asking for blessings for their sicknesses and things like that. um, but in this even in the presence of like this grand temple, your eyes are um, diverted to a uh, a much smaller structure on the grounds uh, of that temple. It's not made of marble. It's very humble. Um, maybe like wood and uh, maybe a little bit of stone. And coming from inside of it is a faint like greenish glow. And something about that is just very, very alluring. Um, so how would Endr approach this situation?
I think first of all, I just want to say you're very on the money. Which is like, hey, there's like, oh, big flashy temple with big god. Hi, other thing. I'm going to go look at other thing.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like, oh, place that people aren't populating. I should see.
I feel that.
I feel like all of us
Literally my
feel like
mood
that.
always.
I definitely feel like she sees this kind of like greenish glow, and then she's like, and she goes over because she goes even closer. She wants to see what's happening.
Mhm.
She's like, oh, this is curious.
Yeah. Cool. So as you kind of get a better sight line into this door, there is
Yes, really.
There's a small shrine with a statuette of a woman on top of it, and she is this statuette depicts her reaching out and touching a like a sort of a half man, half beast, and it appears that it appears that her touch is actually healing him from beast to man. So like closer to her hand, it's like a healthy looking like stud of a dude, and then further away he's got like fur and like claws and stuff.
Mhm.
And in your voice, not in your voice, in your head,
In my
you
voice.
hear, you hear a woman's voice, and she says, "Come closer, Endr. I wish to speak to you."
I feel like Endr is just kind of like, first of all, just like, because like I've kind of mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but or no, I think I did. Like when we were originally like looking around at like the temples and stuff,
Mhm.
it's gonna take like Endr is, I think, just a very agnostic person by like to start with. She's just kind of like, I believe there's a higher power up there, but also science.
Yeah.
And so like I think she's kind of very like her immediate first thought is someone is using whisper. And then it rolls over that she's in a temple and she's like, maybe I should think this over a little more.
Yeah.
And she comes and she walks closer out of curiosity as someone's using her.
For sure. So do you like step inside then, or?
I step inside.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So the green glowing doesn't have a particular source. There's no like light source that would seem to be giving it off. It's just sort of just an all-encompassing green glow that sort of surrounds this shrine. And again, the voice comes to you and says, I feel your doubts, child. We are kin, the daughter of a great healer who has helped many. I can see within you the potential to become a great healer. And if the time comes that you wish to open yourself to my aid, you will have it. Take my book and
do I get a Bible?
Extreme Teen Bible spotted.
No. I'm totally joking.
No, yeah. And in front of the statue, like, you did not notice before, and you're pretty sure there was no book there.
There was nothing there, so I'm like,
yeah. But when she says "take my book," suddenly you notice a book in front of the statue. And she says, I will teach you the way. You must only open yourself to me and try what you fear.
ooh. That's real. I just want to step out for a moment. That's really good phrasing. Try what you fear. Good on you.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And of course, like, that's, how clerics work. Devote themselves to one god.
Yeah.
So.
Ew, that's like monogamy for religion.
Religious monogamy. I love it.
Oh my god. You have the best one-liners, Matt.
That's beautiful.
Like monogamy for religion. Okay. I feel like Endr is just like, she's kind of like, there's clearly like a faint like look of like, she's a little bit puzzled. Like she's like, how did I not see this book? But she's kind of like, with everything that's happened, and especially after this long ass motherfucking list that she just got, she's like, well, and also the whole shit was like, well, Azure's gonna get fucked. And we're clearly running in. I think, especially with her dad, like seeing him in a much worse condition than when she left, definitely struck her. And I think also just after being home, because this is still like relatively a few days after they were in Balwin, correct?
Yeah. This is about a week after, and it's within 1 or 2 days of you arriving in Duber. So
yeah, so she's very very much just thinking about home, and she's also of course now thinking about her new friends. Yes, that includes you, Zogle. Suck it up.
Acquaintances.
Sure.
Business partners.
That's it. No. But she's very much just like thinking about the well-being and like really feeling like she wants to step into the role of being able to be someone who can help a little bit more, and she's feeling a bit more vulnerable, so I feel like she opens herself to it more, especially like hearing hearing a god, like, cause she's been like, oh cool, god exists, awesome. Like,
for sure.
It's like, oh, you've been blessed? Cool. Have fun with that.
Yeah.
Like having like an experience where she's actually hearing a goddess and like in her head and showing her a path that she can take. She's very like, she's feeling very receptive to it at the moment is what I'm trying to get at.
For sure.
And she goes over like, and I take the book. Like I kind of like put my hand on it, and like I'm feeling very accepting of it, and just like willing to like give it a shot, like, and like I touch the book.
Yeah. I mean, it's you don't necessarily get like a divine spark kind of situation going on, like this big reaction. But it is a very comforting object. Like it's very it feels familiar, even though you've never seen this book before. And Panacea, I guess that's how we're saying that, right? Is that right? Okay. Says, do you have anything to ask of me?
I'm gonna have to ask you to repeat that because you cut out.
Oh, you're okay. Yeah. So she asks, do you have anything to ask of me?
This is, I think, the most Endr question she could possibly ask. Why me?
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. She says, my church is much smaller than my father's. Which means that I have to search the world for those who may be receptive to my message and those who may be able to be of help to others. You are the daughter of a healer whose greatest hope is to heal your own father who cannot heal himself. This is noble, and I believe that through this quest, you will become as great a healer as him.
Boy, you're gonna make me tear up over here.
Welcome back to D&D. Now cry!
Now cry, do it!
You've been gone for 2 weeks. Time to pound you into the dust with feels.
Basically.
I feel like Endr is very much in like a state of like, it's not disbelief, but think so? Where the fucking god is that? Jules, I'm gonna punch you.
Boob stream!
Jules, your bike is so loud.
Boob stream.
I'm pretty sure that's
Making that content, girl!
Oh, there's like 2 people that own bikes in my parking lot, and my window is like open right into the parking lot. I'm on the 3rd floor, and
Nice.
I'm like, and I never close my window, so I'm like, well, time for car sounds. It's great when people come to pick up the trash in the morning. It's phenomenal.
I can only
Anyways,
imagine.
as I was saying, we digress a great deal. I feel like Endr, like she's not in disbelief. Like she's clearly like receptive to this, of course, but she's just kind of like in a state of like she's at a loss for words almost,
Yeah.
because it's like doing this to be noble. She's not doing like doing this to just like the entire reason she's like, this is the person who's raised me, and I know she knows, because we all know that Wolfram's probably told her at some point in her 20-something odd years of living, be like, listen, honey, I'm not your biological father. I know you were like 4, but still.
Yeah.
But so she's just like, she just wants to take care of him, take care of him the way that he took care of her in a way. And so, and I think with what she said, it's just like, oh, you can like be as great as a healer as he was, and da-da-da. Like, I feel like that kind of like sparks almost a little bit of something else in her, of like the desire to help people in general.
Yeah.
Like even more than she already did, because she could have chosen like battle magic.
Right.
She could have been like a badass, like fuck shit up wizard, but she's like, I want to heal people. Like, I want to help. So, and I feel like that just kind of gets amplified a little bit, like, and she's just kind of at a loss for words because she's just feeling all of this at once.
Definitely. And she says, Panacea says to you, the contents of the book will not reveal themselves to you all at once. This is a large undertaking and is best to be taken in small portions. But if you ever truly need assistance, pray over the book, and I will do what I can to give you aid.
Wow, my dyslexic ass just wrote one the totally wrong way. Good job.
Nice.
WONCE. Good job. Thanks, brain.
That's
Beautiful.
Anyhow, so I'm assuming like this is off. This is like the whole like, okay, you worship to figure out which spells you want for each day kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And if you were to flip through the book, it's actually written in it's written in what languages do you read?
I read Common and Sylvan.
Sylvan. Okay. It's probably written in Common, but it's gibberish. Like it doesn't. Like the letters are scrambled.
No.
The letters are all scrambled. The pictures don't make sense. Like it's almost like here's an arm, here's a leg right next to it, and like down here is like a head, kind of a thing. So like, yeah, and basically to read through this book is maybe to unveil a very small piece of that knowledge, kind of thing, at a time. Which obviously, as you become more devoted to it, will increase. Like, will become simpler and simpler for you.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just writing some of this down.
You're fine. You're fine.
My last druid actually, whenever he prepared spells, he had flashcards.
Nice. Very nice.
That's wonderful.
I love it.
That's beautiful. I love it.
He also had a negative in con and dexterity to start with because he was 12 years old.
Very nice.
I love it.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm the top left one. Hell yeah. Go
That's
me.
you!
I'm looking at your chat right now.
Yeah, Jay's pretty great. I adore him. And by the way, Jay, if you want, I'll give a shout out real quick.
Do you have anything else that you want to ask Panacea or talk to her about?
I feel like because Endr's just kind of critical, like a critical thinker in that kind of way. She kind of asked about like the light that was like enshrouding like the shrine.
Mm-hmm.
So she's kind of like, so.
I am also spelling unable. Oh, sorry.
Like, I have to ask, what was that green glowing light outside, like around your shrine? Was that something only I could see, or what was that?
The light was for you. She wouldn't pause. She knows what she's saying at all times, but the DM is pausing.
The DM is pausing because he is thinking of words.
She says, it is a tool, just like any other in a healer's kit. I am a god of pragmatism, and everything I do is with intention. And actually, as she says it, the green light fades, and you're left in this small structure with the only light being from the door, from coming up from outside.
Dark.
It's still light enough to see everything, but yeah.
So, is this like a proper question? Is it like a proper statue, like inside the shrine, or is it kind of like muddled together?
No, yeah, it's proper. It's probably the only thing that's well made in the entire shrine. Like the only thing that's not like super super humble.
It's the statue, okay.
Is the statue, yeah. Because people need something to worship, and like, you know.
Even if it's in a shitty structure, it's fine.
Exactly.
As long as the god is pretty.
Yeah. Isn't that how religion works?
Good luck for
I don't
people
know. Apparently
worshipping
there's monogamy
Hephaestus.
in religion.
Clerics, the monogamous assholes of religion.
I once heard paladins described as cop who is also a youth pastor. And I was
I love
losing
that.
it.
Eagle Scout? Did you say Eagle Scout?
Eagle Scout. Nice. Cool.
My cousin's an Eagle Scout.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Guess
work.
that
I've
they're
looked
a
into
paladin. Congratulations.
it. Learn smithing. Make your sword. You're a paladin now.
Nice.
Yes, sword. What do you want for your birthday? Don't
Say
sword.
sword. Oh.
Just-
I feel like before Endr leaves,
Mm.
she's kind of she's holding this book in her hand.
Mm.
And I think she's just kind of like taking everything in, like, so has like the goddess's presence kind of like faded from the area, kind of like.
No, she's still there.
Oh, she's still there.
Yeah, just the light is no longer necessary because like
I'm here.
Yeah.
I found my way.
Yes.
The shining light. The shining light of religion is shining upon my dark and depressing soul.
Praise him.
You're like the nicest one here. We're doomed.
We're doomed.
Hey,
Link.
just because she's nice doesn't mean she has a darkened soul. Her parents died when she was 4.
Link, your light must shine upon Hyrule once again.
Once again. Anyways, I digress. I feel like, and I feel like I'm holding the book kind of like kind of close to my chest.
Mhm.
And like everything's just going on in my head. Like it's like everything's just kind of hitting me like of course she was sad about her father. Of course she's worried as fucking hell about the deal about Azure.
Yeah.
And she's like curious about everything that's been going on is just kind of finally like she's been kind of like a current. She's just kind of like going with the flow. She's like, okay, this is happening, things are happening, we're here, we're there, we have to continue on with what we're doing. I feel like it all just kind of hits her, and like as she's holding this book to her chest, she just kind of drops to her knees in front of the statue.
Yeah.
And she just kind of is like on her knees and like kind of like hunches over with like the book against her chest, and she's just taking everything in.
For sure. And I think that Panacea lets you have your moment. Like, I don't think that she would interrupt because she understands, like she can see what's going on in your head. And she gets that, like, this is an incredibly emotional, like, situation for you to be in. So, so maybe you feel like just a small comfort from her, but like not enough to like have influence over how you're feeling, and not enough to interrupt that reverie. She's letting you have your moment.
Yeah. And I feel like for her, just like outside of Endr, I'm just really enjoying this because this is like the most subtle but impactful like religious moment that she could have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly how I wanted it to be, so thank you. I didn't want it to be like, I am God. I shall help you with your
Just, I am God.
you do God things.
Do God things. Here's a miracle.
Just, I am God. I'm in your brain now.
Can there please be a god of Kool-Aid Man?
Minor deity
There is
Kool-Aid
now.
Man.
There is now.
Kool-Aid Man, god of refreshment. Oh yeah.
He's 5 shrines down and to the left.
Be blessed.
Pop in and give him a visit.
Don't
Like
forget,
kick through the wall to get in. Like there's no door.
and of
You're
course
not
we
punch
can.
through the wall with magic missile.
Don't forget Yike, the goddess of minor distress.
Yike!
She's very popular with college students.
Yes. Mood.
And the
Agreed.
magic school is just be like, oh god, yeah, oh goddess Yike.
Yike and
Please
her
help me
husband
write my
Bolshiticus.
10-page research paper on the history of abjuration.
If clerics are the monogamists of the religious world, I think college students are the polyamorous ones. Please, God of test taking. Please, God of stress. Don't kill me.
Nice.
Oh, I need to calm down. My makeup's gonna run.
You better go catch it.
Oh, you stole my pun. Oh.
Just
Just
now,
gonna-
like, I'm done. I'm done with this today.
Tragic.
I feel like as like Endr is kind of like hunched over on the ground on her knees, like it is just a very like an emotional moment, but like all she can manage to mutter out like almost into the book is thank you.
Yeah. For sure. She says, "You're welcome, my child. Now, go. Your friends need you."
I feel like Endr just kind of rises to her feet and nods and is like still like holding the book like hold on. I have a book. I'm just going to grab the fucking thickest book I own right now. Just, like, I feel like she's just kind of like this. Like holding it very close to her chest and she just nods before like leaving.
For sure.
Look! Get back in there! Well, I'll do that later.
Yeah. So, after this would have probably been before the were-rats and before the death of Belvar.
So about a month ago or more.
Around a month ago. So then fast forwarding, the party helps fight some were-rats. They like somewhere in there they win a contest of like axe throwing.
Yes, I do.
A close friend is murdered by a new enemy. And you take an ocean voyage across the sea back to Belwyn and enter Belwyn Forest.
Did Zogle get his package?
I don't think you stopped by the.
No, we went
shop.
straight. We went straight to my me forest.
Who forest?
Me Forest Melia. And at the end of the last session, a flock of assorted birds landed before you, and in sort of a magic flash, became a group of druids. And that's where we pick up. So, a woman steps forward. Her hair is almost in the sun, the color of autumn leaves, with gray woven through it. She's wearing a set of robes, which are beautiful yet torn at the corners and things like that. Certainly a pragmatist, a a person who cares more for her work than her beauty. Though she is in her own way very like a motherly sort of beautiful, like very overworked, very tired, but still
Hi, Mama Zogle.
Mama Zogle still carries herself like with a lot of respect and kindness. Sort of flanking her on each side, there is a. Are you okay if I take liberties with your brothers? Do you want to describe them?
Yeah, no, you go. Have fun. Push.
Okay. Her right hand is an older man with raven black hair, a sharp nose, and a very strong jaw. And angry eyes, who does not put down his weapon, but he's not pointing it at Zogle. He's pointing it sort of in the direction of the rest of you, and he's got kind of like I guess it'd be like a spear.
Why the anger?
To her left side is a very reserved-looking man, slightly younger than the first. He has claw marks down one of his cheeks from an old battle. He has his weapon out, but it's not pointing at you. He's prepared. He has sort of a chilled confidence. There were two robins who transformed into men who are just slightly older than Zogle, and they have identical faces, and they're very joyful looking. They in that they have like laugh lines, they have smile lines, even though they're very young. But they're currently like kind of following the lead of the most senior, and they have their weapons prepared. And then over on the other side, there's one more who I forgot to think about how I was going to describe them.
They're an odd, flickering blob of static, as though the Matrix is broken.
Yeah.
The image seems to
clarify before your eyes.
I think actually this one, instead of turning into a person, it turns into sort of a half, almost like how Belvar has a hybrid form, or had a hybrid form for like bear and human. This is a hybrid form, but with more animals involved. There's some sort of ceremonial feathers, like in a crest on the head. There's like sort of it's kind of short. He is kind of short. Zogle has all brothers, right?
Yes, all brothers.
Yes. He's probably like 4 foot tall.
shorter than Endr.
Sharp claws.
He'll beat your ass, though.
Yeah, and he's.
I was just talked to by a god.
Yeah, and the woman steps forward and says, she says, "Hello, Zogle. We've been expecting you."
Hello, mother. Brothers.
Yeah, is this in common or is this in Druidic?
This is probably in Druidic, actually.
Okay, so
I think
none of us can understand.
I think Kyr'nes.
Wave.
I think Kyr'nes, as soon as he like starts hearing Druidic, he goes, "Oh, you spoke this earlier," and he casts comprehend languages on himself.
It doesn't matter. Unfortunately, Druidic is a magical language that cannot be comprehended.
Is it really?
It is, if you
That's
actually
a
look
real
at Druidic.
thing.
Oh,
Thought I was
damn.
gonna be clever and cast comprehend languages. Well, he's gonna cast comprehend languages anyway because he doesn't know that, and then get upset because comprehend languages isn't working.
I believe you can have a DC if somebody does something like that, but I don't think. I think it's magically protected because it's not exactly a language.
You understand any spoken languages that you hear with the last one.
Hold on. Does comprehend languages let you understand secret languages? We have 3 different things to look at here. Comprehend languages says, for the duration you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. Druidic says, you know Druidic, the secret language of Druids. You can speak the language and use it to leave hidden messages.
It's pretty clear the comprehend language helps with spoken Druid. It's kind of like Fight Club. It's kind of like Thieves' Camp.
Do you have your books on you, Matt, by chance, or?
I do not.
Okay,
I can look at D&D Beyond.
That would work, and I'm just gonna pull out. I'll race you. I'm gonna pull out my my player's handbook and see.
You'll probably win.
The player's handbook.
I want to make sure because this is an interesting story thing, and I want to get it right.
Player's handbook.
Druidic. Let's see here.
No Druidic, the secret language. Speak the language and use. Others who know this language automatically spot such messages. Others spot the message's presence with a successful perception check, but can't decipher it without magic.
Without magic.
So
okay. I mean, I don't see anywhere that it says he couldn't understand it with magic. Does it say anything on D&D Beyond? Matt.
Hello?
Sorry, hit the wrong button. Yeah, it just says that without magic, so I guess he can.
Okay. Okay, so yes, you cast Comprehend Languages. And maybe you don't get, like, the initial greeting, but you catch, like, the back half of Zogle's greeting, and I believe you said mother, so you probably know that that is Zogle's mother.
Dig in the jammy pants, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Also, your headphone cord is long.
It's really long. It's really nice.
Can relate. Look at all this cable.
Yeah. And even though they're like kind of trying to be guarded around these strangers that they don't know, I think that one of the twins actually like breaks rank and waves and he says, "Hi, Zogle." And there's a kind of like a quick like bark almost from the more animal looking one, and he falls back into line, re-readies his weapon. And Mother says, who are these people? Are they involved in this trouble?
Yes, but mostly on accident. These are my acquaintances. One of them is close to a friend.
That's cute. She says, very well, lower your weapons. And as she says that, the angry looking one pushes forward and he says, "Zogle, you bring strangers here? What are you thinking?"
Only if one of them is exactly a stranger. The others already belong here.
They may belong to this forest, but they do not belong to our enclave.
Anyone that belongs in this forest belongs in our enclave, because we are protectors of a forest that they live in.
He starts to get angry, but a hand is placed on his shoulder by your mother, and she says, if Zogle trusts them, and Zogle is in trouble, then they may be key to assisting him. They come with us.
Gonna give a pointed glare over at Mr. Comprehends languages because I know it's not the first time he's done it, and I'm gonna look at him and be like, "You need
This is
to
the
not."
first time I've cast comprehend languages. First of all,
Wait, is it?
Yes.
Well, shit. Well, then never mind. I'm gonna glare at you anyway and be like, "Don't, no funny business. I swear to God, they'll kill you."
Nice. And I think she looks around the group, and in common she greets you, and she says, "Welcome to." Would they call it Belwyn Forest? Do you
I
think?
don't know. I would
Maybe
assume
you
that
just say
if they
our
have an older
forest.
name for it, that's the only thing I would think.
Yeah.
But
I'd say
otherwise, yeah.
Maybe she just calls it like our forest. She says, "Welcome to our forest. Please step carefully here. There are some who will not be as comfortable with your presence. But please follow us back to our home." The twins and the more animal, I'm gonna call him a badger because he kind of looks like a badger, maybe. The twins and the badger.
And fuck you up like a badger.
Fuck you up like a badger. They return to their bird forms and fly a perimeter above you, and the others turn and begin to lead you through the forest. As you wait, what?
Kyr'nes, whatever you do, don't ogle, please.
But I. Okay.
And if there's a very, very, very large druid, do not look directly at him.
I'll take your word for it.
What did
There
I
we go.
miss? My boyfriend called me.
You're fine. You've been welcomed and told to step carefully because some people are not going to be comfortable with your presence.
Does it help that I grew up looking for stuff in this forest?
Well, you're not dead, so yeah.
I mean,
There.
the thing is, like, the druids, some of them will recognize you, but you probably won't recognize them because they wouldn't allow themselves to be seen by you.
There.
Unless you were, like, doing something disrespectful to the forest, which Endr probably wouldn't have been doing.
No, oh gosh, no. Oh gosh, no. She would never.
So they start to lead you, and the path starts out fairly normal, but as it goes, it sort of winds up large tree roots, and you find yourself weaving up and down through the canopy along large branches. To anyone else, it would appear to be just a bizarre natural path through the forest, but Zogle, you know better. You know that like this was specifically handcrafted by the druids to be very well hidden.
We grewed it. We grewed it.
You walk for maybe an hour with the birds still circling over your head before they fly down, and you become aware of a clearing that is ahead of you. Zogle, how does your family live? Like, do they live in like trees, or like what is kind of the flavor of their?
The flavor.
So, how many of you played EverQuest? I don't know if anybody.
That's
No?
ringing a real
Okay,
faint
cool.
bell, so I might know what you're on about.
So, the Wood Elves, anyway, they basically built these massive, beautiful houses in the trees, like really, really high up. And that's kind of what I always imagine when I think of cool druids.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe there's like the clearing is kind of a place for like for trade and for gatherings and things like that. But up above, there's a complicated system of bridges and like vines holding up branches and things like that that lead to different druid abodes. There's many small ones. There's like obviously like fae are welcome among druids and beasts. So there's plenty of just fae just chilling around, and some of them even have their own houses. The ones that actually require such things. There are as you enter this clearing, just a large bear just like sidles past you, like on his way to go do his business or whatever. Not do his business, but like going about his business.
Hey, Barrington. There's a pack of wolves that are bathing each other in the sun. There's birds everywhere. There's so many birds, like more birds than any of you have ever seen, except Zogle. Like this year is a little light on birds. Zogle.
Just were like, holy shit, that's a lot of birds. And curly, of course.
Huh. We're seeming to be lacking some birds this year.
Definitely a pointed look at Zogle, like, we're lacking birds?
Your mother leads you. So there is a very large tree abode with balconies that have been like specifically, like nothing here is carved. It's all like druid crafted. So like bark was grown in a specific way to like create these structures. And so your mother leads you to kind of a lower hanging tree. Zogle, you know this to be her like her personal workspace where she does her druidic healing and things like that. And research and whatever else she needs to do.
Endr, you're in for a treat.
I feel like Endr's just kind of like
Running with it.
Mother, where is father?
She's just smiling.
He's not here at the moment. There's something that's been disturbing the animals, and he's been searching for it for some weeks. We may not see him today.
Wow, maybe there are gods.
Endr's like she dismisses angry brother to go and do a patrol. why is he so angry?
Oh, I got it. Bye, Gator Jaw. You jerk.
Gator Jaw. Gator Jaw, perfect. The quiet one though refuses to leave her side. Zogle, you know that he is essentially in charge of. He's been appointed as her personal guard, basically. Your mother is a very, very important druid, so she gets special things like that. So as you enter into her healing shack, I guess, Endr, you actually would recognize a lot of the smells that are coming from within. There are lots of brewing, like potions, and things are smoking and sizzling. There are
dried plants, or there's plants drying like on all of the door frames, to be used in poultices and things like that.
I feel like immediately, like, of course, like, I think like Endr, like, very much has like just kind of like a general like whenever like she enters somewhere where she's not familiar with, which is almost all the time. She's just kind of like I feel like it's a little less at first, like especially here, just to begin with, because it's like, oh, this is the forest essentially where I grew up. It's fine. Like
Definitely.
this is where I've like searched for like herbs and plants and materials and like for like forever, like my entire life. So she already feels like pretty like relaxed, and she's like, okay, like of course, like she's a little nervous. She's like, we're technically meeting royalty right now. But like as soon as she like smells like all of like these herbs and see all the drying plants and like can hear the cauldrons bubbling, I feel like she's got such a nose for it. She's just like, oh, are you brewing this? Like she's having to like restrain herself from being like, oh, you're using these herbs? Are you brewing WXY things?
Face palming so hard right now.
She's not actually doing it. She's restraining herself.
Unlike Kyr'nes, she can restrain herself.
She's restraining herself, but she's viscerally like she feels like she's in her element right now, even though it's in the forest. She's just like, of course she's not gonna be like all of a sudden home. She's not gonna do something shit like that. But she feels relaxed. She feels comfortable in this environment. And she's like, good shit. Internally,
sure.
she's like, good shit.
Very nice. Yeah, Zogle. And I think when she has there's like, they probably don't do doors because of how many animals are like roaming around through here, and they don't want to like impede them. And the animals probably like give a fair amount of respect to her work, and she probably doesn't need to keep them out. But like maybe there's like when she needs privacy, she can like lay down a skin or something over the door, you know, like a curtain, basically.
Curtain of vines.
Something like that.
I could probably see vines because because then it doesn't hurt any animals and it's not in the way.
Yeah, for sure. So she does that. And as she goes around the room checking her plants and things, she like waves her hand over a wilting branch, and a new bloom appears on it, and it becomes a little greener. She prunes a few that like are too far gone, things like that. And she says, Zogle, I was very alarmed by your messages. What's going on? And keep in mind that Azure is probably with you.
Azure's with us.
He's a little T-posy right now, but he'll remember.
In Druidic and whispering to my mom. I just explain what's going on, who knows what, and who I haven't told anything to.
I know stuff, right? Because you told me when you gave me the necklace.
Yeah.
Yep.
And apparently now I know if I catch any of that whispering.
So
Wait, how long does comprehend languages last?
Well, it's been at least an hour.
Oh yeah, comprehend languages is like an hour duration. So it would be gibberish. Not know what's fine.
Nope.
Yep. And she says, what exactly did you bargain for?
His life. I don't know.
Actually, hold on, what did I bargain for?
You bargained herbs for Endr's father, for Wolfram, in exchange for bringing Azure to the hags.
Right. I'm like, all I need to do is bring him to that spot. That is all I agreed to. And they said that they would help this poor man from perishing of this terrible disease.
Let me see the mark. She
I yank over my arm.
She grabs it and sort of examines it. She says, It's possible that we could cure this. It would be a difficult process.
Well, we could do that, or we could use this opportunity, as good old father would say, to our advantage.
What did you have in mind?
The hags have always become an issue to us. If I am in danger, they've officially given me purpose to attack and destroy them.
That's true.
Cunning.
How
Dude,
many hags?
Zogle's like a master of the tactical. From what I understand, it's 3, right? 3 or 4.
You've met 2, and they've spoken of one other sister. So yeah, at least 3.
From my understanding, it's at least 3.
Hags are at their most powerful when they're in groups of 3, Zogle. This will not be an easy task. But if you wish to do that, then we can prepare you.
Are they still talking in Druidic?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just sitting there admiring. I'm just sitting here admiring all like the drying plants and all the politics and restraining myself from going over and looking at everything.
Meanwhile, Kyr'nes is like genuinely uncomfortable because all he knows when they were talking Druidic earlier was that, oh yes, you've brought an out. So he's like, oh, don't like this.
if he's starting to stray off a little bit, I could just imagine Zogle like half-mindedly grabbing him by the scruff and pulling him right back over.
Grabbing him by the robe, just yoink.
Nope, not too far. Nope, not too far.
So you've been cursed for 12 days, or is it more than that?
How long did it take on the boat ride?
It was 5 days each way.
So I
That's
think
2 or 3 days.
Well, I was cursed. Yeah, so 12 days altogether, I believe.
Yeah, because we spent 2 days in Magic New York so far.
So 12 days.
12 days. Okay. She says, let me see exactly what this particular curse entails. I can study it and find out for you what effect it may have on you.
I'm gonna look at her and be like, I got this far, and it's only grown a little, but you can feel it getting harder and harder to stop.
Very well. Trying to think here. She switches to common. She says, "You're all welcome here for as long as my business with Zogle takes. If Zogle's father returns, you may wish to be somewhere else." She turns to a bookcase and begins like doing research and stuff. So,
I have a clarifying question outside of Endr.
What's
So it's mostly actually for Matt. So what? You're half elf, half
Goliath?
Yeah, I'm half
Goliath.
I'm half elf, half Goliath.
Yeah. So is your mom the elf and your dad's the Goliath? Is that what I'm under?
The pretty one is the elf, and the scary one's the Goliath.
is correct.
I just needed to. What color hair does Zogle have, by the way?
It's
And
a
his mom is like orange.
it's a brown mess. Like it's just not. He's not unattractive. He's actually pretty attractive. He's just not well kept. He's very studious and druidic.
Fair.
And a little bit of an asshole.
A lot of bit of an asshole, but yeah, you're right.
Only sometimes.
Yeah.
And
a brown mess,
Zog-
I feel that, on a very personal level.
Zogle's gonna look and be like, well, perhaps they should take Thistle and Bristle with them. The small ones, because then Dad won't crush them right away.
Thistle and Bristle. I love it.
Thistle.
Okay.
I love it.
I'm trying to think of naturing names.
No, it's
At least
beautiful.
it's
I love
not
it.
Clarella.
Hey, bite me.
Gorilla.
You guys love Clarella. You know it.
I know.
Well, she did now.
Well, she did now. Yeah.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
Not one session will you escape.
God damn it. And she looks up from her book and she says, "That may be a good idea. I'll have them return."
Plus, I'm sure they can show Kyr'nes here all sorts of very exciting nature things. Maybe even show him some skywriting.
Just
I can hear Kyr'nes's interest being piqued
It's like, duh.
from 2,000
What?
miles away.
It's like, what? Skywriting? Hello?
the she returns to her book and she says, "Just don't cause any trouble, Zogle."
What
With this
about
group, never promises.
something this group will never promise is to not get in trouble.
And I also say it in Druidic just because I know that Sassy Pants McSassyson over there is going to be like, Zogle, we're not that bad.
Nice.
Okay, so
Um,
are Thistle and Bristle just going to be with Kyr'nes, or am I also going to be with Kyr'nes? And Azure. I have to
yeah, I
remember that Azure's also with us because Owl's not here.
Yeah, I think as outsiders, you would probably be expected to at least stay with one of them. They don't necessarily even though they're twins, they're not like a group package kind of situation. But even probably Zogle isn't good enough to maybe accomplish what he's trying to accomplish by having them with you. So groups of one or two, you know. So about 15 minutes go by and they oh, did I lose you? Oh, no, there I am. Okay. About 15 minutes go by and the two boys come running up the bridge to the workplace.
How tall are they again?
Do what?
How tall are they again?
These two are probably a little taller. They're
Who's the one that was 4 foot?
oh, that was. He doesn't have a name yet. But
Trying to think of something badgery.
Badgery. He's
People?
like the animal looking one, like the one who wouldn't remove himself from animal form. So the twins come running up the ramp, and even though they're older than Zogle, they have a sort of youth about them. They're very energetic. They very very like Fred and George Harry Potter situation going on.
True,
And very
just
much
from
the
our race
stalls.
alone, we age very slowly.
And and they say to Zogle, they say, "We heard Mom's worried that Dad's gonna kick your ass."
Well, me too.
Me.
Actually, Zogle probably just like stares at them for a minute, picks up a book, and just starts reading.
You better shut the hell up before you get your ass beat.
Hey.
I don't even think I can take on my friendly twins.
And they one of them turns to Zogle and the other one turns to I guess they turn to address the room, and they say, "We are your humble guides. Let us show you the most beautiful parts of our druidic village. Please follow us."
They can't fly.
And the wind kind of goes out of their sails a little bit, and they say, "Hey."
Kyr'nes kind of like thinks about it for a second. It's like, I might be able to eventually. So there's that. I don't know.
All I could think about as soon as you said Friend George was like the skit where it's just like, is that Dumbledore in his study pacing? He does that a lot. Where'd you get this? Nicked it from Filter's office. Nicked it from Filter's office, of course. First year.
No.
All I can think of is Travis and Connor Stoll.
And although I'm sure you'll be bored of it by now, why don't you show Kyr'nes how to write novels in the sky? I'm sure you would find something very fun to draw for him.
They look at each other and they nod their heads. So yeah, they take you on an exploratory trip around the village. There are Zogle, are you going with them, or are you staying with your mother?
I'm staying with my mom to try to help.
Okay. On this trip, you actually do meet other siblings of Zogle, other brothers, and each of them is like so they're all like half Goliath, half elf, but like they kind of each of them looks a little bit more Goliath or a little bit more elf, and they're all like they're all fairly friendly. Like when
The Zoggle's kind of the one that turned out 50-50.
kind of, yeah. There's actually a very, very large one who you can't even see the half elf in. He just seems to be full Goliath. But he when oh, crap, what are their names again? Thistle and Bristle.
Thistle and Bristle.
When Thistle and Bristle introduce you, he
You love that.
he gets a big smile on his face, and he says, "It's nice to meet you, little ones."
Kyr'nes is at a loss for words. Just like, you're very tall. That's odd because I'm noticeably
I'm
large
tall.
and you're very tall.
And Endr's just like a fucking ant. She's 5'2", and she's like,
Yeah.
Has to crane her neck to see his face.
yeah, she has to be like, headed 90 degrees, like.
Yes. They so you meet the family. You meet a little bit of Zoggle's extended family, like Mother Tree and and shit like that. You run into some snooty elves, and
As you're going to do.
yeah, and about the time that like sunset starts to roll around, you find yourselves sitting in the branches of the largest tree, and you're being treated to dirty sky limericks.
So mind you, that means up in there that the clouds look exactly like what he's saying.
Yep.
Well, I feel like Endr's just like, well, all right. Pulls out her book from Venetia, like, staring at the gibberish, and she's like,
Kyr'nes is once again scandalized, like blushing a like slightly blue
Turns purple.
little curl of frost coming out of his nose.
Nice.
"Nerd."
Back in the healing shack,
Meanwhile, at the
There
Hall of
is-
Justice.
there's like the sound of laughter coming from outside, and as some of the Fae have noticed the shenanigans that's going on up in the sky, Zogle, your mother, is kind of discussing this curse with you and like the implications of it. She says, the more time that goes by, the more difficult this will be to resist. You may find yourself compelled to do things that are against your will, Zogle, if the hags wish. It's possible that if you take your friend to them, they could use you against him before they've removed the curse.
Joy.
It depends on how well you're able to resist.
I feel like with this many days past, I'm already going to have a terrible time doing it. Is there any way to mitigate it and make it lower so that maybe I can resist a little longer?
Certainly, yes.
Oh, and also because one of my idiots is incredibly awkward. I'm like going to point under the tree where they're sitting, and I'm going to like make a big 5-foot blob of water, like, just in case he falls.
With Kyr'nes.
You know he would definitely like fall out of the tree at
Especially
some
with
point.
Thistle and Bristle being so excitable, I'm sure he'll have a hard time holding on.
At some point, you just hear this colossal thud.
No,
A few choice words and Draconic like.
Probably hear a splash. Or that's the hope.
and then in the distance you hear Endr go, Kyr'nes! Are you okay?
I'm moist.
That's better than dead!
The Dragonborn is heavy.
Yeah, and she so she takes a little of this and a little of that and makes like a paste and spreads it on your arm. Your wisdom checks are now like -1 to difficulty, so a little bit
Sweet, that's helpful.
yeah.
Advantage and -1 on the difficulty. Yes.
Specifically those wisdom checks, not every wisdom check.
No. Okay.
Wisdom checks in terms of like the curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she says, how did you come up? Why are you traveling with these strange people, Zogle? Who are they?
Well, I'm tired of being the small one. I'm tired of always being told that I'm not good enough, not strong enough, too kind.
Zogle, too kind?
That's the sad part. I mean, right now, if Thistle pushes Kyr'nes off of that tree, those two won't feel bad. They'll laugh about it and expect him to be perfectly fine.
Well, I could fix him, just for the record.
Oh, right, but that's not the point, Mom. You're not always going to be there, no matter where I am. And I have to make some sort of social connections out there. I literally had to pull my name out of a hat, your name out of a hat, just to talk to some guards. I'm at a point in my life where if I continue to be like this, I mean, we've seen hermits. We've seen what happens to those kinds of druids. They're not people at that point, and I don't know if I'm willing to live that way.
Very well, Zogle. Just remember that you're very resilient, and not everyone is. If a time comes that they prove me right, please come home. The last thing I want is to lose a child to some hag.
Yeah, it'll take a lot more than a hag to wipe me out. Plus, if they're just asking me to kill him, I've almost done it twice on accident, so it's not like it's going to be a challenge.
She she pats your shoulder, and she says, "We've prepared some food. Let's eat around the fire tonight and show these strangers a little bit of our culture."
Excellent. I'm gonna hold up my hand, and I'm already like putting down fingers from 5, just like waiting for it, and 0.
And just go up in the tree, and she's like, "You still good? Did you break anything?"
Just my pride.
Just my pride. Oh dear.
I can't heal that. Sorry.
Nice.
I'm gonna
So,
soon.
sorry, what?
Nothing. I'm just gonna have to turn on my lights soon. The sun is for me.
Cool. So a couple hours passed. You're all invited around the fire in the center. Magical fire, very efficient on wood.
Would rather burn as few trees as possible.
As we're getting ready, I'm just like, oh god, it's nighttime. Oh god, it's nighttime. Oh god, it's nighttime. Oh god, it's nighttime. He's probably coming home. Ah!
Fuck!
It's like when you work at a restaurant and you go into the freezer to scream.
Oh.
But to everyone else, there's just like a very like stone-faced Zogle just pacing around, like doing busy work.
Endr, wondering to herself, is he panicking? He seems like he's panicking.
I'm fine.
Are you panicking? Are you okay?
She's thinking this to herself. She knows that Zogle's not going to answer her truly at this moment. So she's just thinking it to herself, and she's like, if it gets worse, I'll go over.
We only have level 2 spell.
God. So the Fae are all kind of like turning in for the night, but they're in the trees creating this beautiful sort of like fairy light effect. You hear singing coming from several of the abodes, and they're all nice. They're all different songs, but they have sort of a like a rhythm and a cadence that all sort of matches and fits together and like sort of creates this unity and harmony around the place. You're each given a wooden bowl that has assorted plants stewed together. Pretty modest, but not tasteless. You know, like it's a very very comfortable setting and pretty good food.
I feel like Endr, like, while she's eating, is like looking up at all the Fae, and she's like,
Mhm.
Now, if that super old centaur over there offers you anything to drink, you avoid it. Do not drink that.
duly noted.
You
Thank
look and see Centaur just like sat on his horse legs and looks at you like with a toothless smile. He's like, eh.
We're pretty sure that it's just Everclear at this point. We're not 100%. Could even be medicinal herbs. Like there's no promises here. Just don't touch it.
Yes.
Is that a weed?
My friend once drank Everclear once, and he got fucked up.
I mean, it's
that's how it works.
95% alcohol at a minimum, if I remember right. It's kind of absurd.
Oh, a what?
It's very alcoholic.
It's like
super high proof.
It's like somewhere close to 200 proof. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Like if it was any higher proof, it would literally start distilling by drawing water from the air.
You drink, you die.
Sign me the fuck up now.
And
Hashtag finals.
Oh.
Give me 3-4 more months and then I'll be there.
And Zogle's brothers join you for food, with the notable exception of the angry one. And when your mother asks about it, the badger, right, says he said he couldn't stomach food around these ones.
Oh, the dad?
No, the oldest brother.
Gator
Oh.
Jaw.
Gator Jaw. Goddamn.
Gator Jaw.
Gator Jaw has
Jaw.
Gator Jaw clearly has just a really thick Florida accent.
Yes.
I wish I was surprised.
The almost full Goliath approaches with his like rumbling steps and comes up behind Zogle, puts you in like a chokehold. It's just, whoa, brother.
Love you. Can't.
Let's
Like,
go.
it's just like,
Taps out.
tap it out, tap it out. But also, Endr catches it. It's just like, I think I love you. It's like, oh, he said he loves his brother. Like, internally doing something. But, like, she just gives Zogle a look like,
I would like to dump shape water on top of Endr.
Oof.
Meanwhile, Kyr'nes is just absolutely like bubbly, talking to as many people as possible.
Mm.
Like, "Whoa, you all are so
Yeah.
neat."
Yeah, and I think that they're probably really interested in you, Kyr'nes, because like they may be familiar with dragon-esque creatures, but definitely not a white dragonborn. Like that's pretty rare in these parts. So you probably have like a couple of nymphs like lounging in your lap, like offering you food. Like,
Endr's just kind of like,
He's just
kinda,
letting
like,
this
looks
happen.
over at Zogle for a moment, and she's like, is this normal?
Yeah. I don't know.
They're
like to
nymphs.
breathe
What did you
and
expect?
Avoid people.
Yeah, and you know this goes on for about half an hour. Your mom is telling stories of like the settling of this forest, like thousands and thousands of years ago, by your ancestors. She knows the history of every tree. She can tell you the bloodline of every squirrel.
My
Things like
mom
that.
is freaking Pocahontas!
Your mom is Pocahontas.
You hear the wolf cry to the blue corn moon.
But after this half hour ish, bowls are starting to be collected, and you hear a sound in the forest.
No bueno.
It sounds like an animalistic yell.
Endr, Kyr'nes, and I'm going to pull him right behind me and just like...
I was about to say, Kyr'nes is on his feet.
Yeah. The to the south of you, a light appears, and it begins to move in the direction of the Druid Circle. It takes about 2 minutes, and Zogle, you already know what it is. But the others...
No.
Is
the
Zogle
others,
gonna is Zogle gonna communicate to the group what's happening?
I'm actually gonna like re-concentrate on my shape water and just have like 2 pools ready. Like he may be very big, and you are going to be very scared. That's
As
all I
soon
got.
as he says he's very big, Kyr'nes is several nervous, casts disguise self with his like human disguise because he doesn't want he doesn't want the last thing he needs is someone bearing down on him because he's a dragonborn. So
Don't.
a moment's
I'm just gonna like
concentration.
glance over and be like, "That's not why he'll kill you."
Well, it's too late now.
He's not racist. He hates everybody.
So the 2 minutes pass, and you can all begin to see the shape of a fiery bird in the sky. And just if you were to look very, very closely, you could see a raven flying alongside it.
Traitor.
The bird gets.
By the way, y'all, this is Kyr'nes' like human form. I drew it a little while back.
Ooh, what?
Feel free to throw that into whatever.
How cute!
Yeah.
I love it. That's adorable.
I try to keep some of like the stuff that like Owl threw in, like the eye scar and the colors and stuff.
I love it.
Like, I feel like because Glacier was just like, oh yeah, like he totally like looked full like Joe Schmo human, and I'm like, I feel like Kyr'nes as a Dragonborn, a little too proud to get rid of the white.
Fair enough. So this bird does a single circle of the circle, and
Gonna do a circle of a circle.
Circle.
And
of a sphere.
And he dive bombs straight into the fire. And the fire erupts into a large fire elemental. The raven lands beside it and becomes Gatorjaw. It's sticking now. That's the name.
I really love it.
And you all hear coming from this elemental just a bellow, and it says Zogle. Who have you brought here?
Mostly friends of the forest and an idiot.
I'm smarter than I let on.
Unfortunately, I didn't meet. Well, anyway.
Friends or not, they have not earned my trust. Why would you bring them into our most sacred place?
You trust nobody.
I do not trust you, child.
You never have, and you never will. Back off. We have the right to be here.
You are quite literally playing with fire.
I've been doing it my whole life, and I've made it to this point.
He moves.
I haven't died yet.
The fire elemental form moves forward, like with a lurch, off of the fire, and sucks all the fire off of the wood that was originally there. So he is the only source of light. The fairies have scattered. They are out of here.
Fairies are. What about blue?
I mean, blue's there. You know, probably
like...
underneath the armor.
Yeah, exactly. And he like steps closer to you to the point that if he was any closer, you wouldn't be able to look him in the face because he's so large.
I feel like Endr is kind of like very tentatively like holding Zogle's like whatever he's wearing, like the back of it, just kind of like.
Let me check what level this is really quick. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm starting to make dinner now, by the way, and on and off camera. That's why.
Cool.
Okie dokie, yeah, I can't do that yet. But I'll take my shape water and like right in between my friends and myself and my father. So basically like behind me,
Mhm.
pushing me closer to him, I'm gonna like raise that a little bit of a wall of water.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And he says, "You think to challenge me in my own home, Zogle?"
No, I think that you should just stop. There's no reason for you to fight me here. People come and go into this forest as they please, including our circle.
They have earned my trust. You have thrown it away.
By being the youngest? That's not fair.
By leaving us.
Okay, that is fair.
I feel like Endr in her brain, she God for fucking bid does not dare to right now.
Zip it good.
But in her head, she's like, because Zogle's just like, well, people come and go into this forest, even including in our own circle. But I've been coming in and out, so I don't see you trusting me. Of course, she doesn't say that because God forbid. Holy shit, no.
One
Definitely.
is a hero of the cities around our forest. One is just trying to become more educated about things in general, and also he's a klutz, so he's not going to hurt anything. I've only caused one issue, and I'm even trying to rectify it.
You have such a dead look on your face right now, kid.
I'm trying to be angry dad.
Angry time.
He says, "Tell me then, Zogle, what have you achieved in your time away from us?"
I can now actually shape myself into any of our forest creatures and of the aquatics as well. I found a talent in order to do even more damage with a sphere that we've created with fire in the past. I regularly can move water as well, not quite as I please yet, but close. And I've made acquaintances that I put my faith in.
And what of your deeds?
Well meant. Were they the right ones? Possibly not, but even you have made mistakes.
Tell me why I should not banish you right now, Zogle.
Because if you do, you can't win. You can officially rid yourself of those horrible hags. That is something that you can now have the potential to do. Banishing me, they win.
He reduces in size, and there's a long moment of silence from him and the people around as he forms into the shape of a Goliath man, and slowly the fire dissipates until he's in his true form. The rest of you see a very regal-looking Goliath druid, many battle scars on his bared chest, he's adorned with feathers and pieces of different animals, claws and teeth and all sorts of things. And he is huge. Like you thought that Big Brother Goliath was big, and he like makes him look like a dwarf. He is a massive, massive man. And he says, "You will follow me."
before we do, I think I have something for you. Or at least hints at the thing you've been chasing. And I'll grab that medallion that we've had and I'll toss it over. The same kind of disgusting destruction of nature has been occurring elsewhere. And everywhere we go, we find these symbols. In this group, whoever they are.
Let me roll for something real quick.
Raw ground meat is so cold.
I can't actually stand putting my hands into like cold hamburger. It makes me want to vomit so bad.
I'm making mini meatloaves in cake in muffin tins, so I kind of have to mix it all together, and it sucks ass because I'm kind of it sucks.
I feel that.
It's so cold, I can't feel my fingers.
You darn kids feeling cold.
Feeling cold. He turns from you, and he says, "Family meeting," and walks towards your family's home in the largest tree.
Yes, sir. And I'm gonna do like a glance over at Gatorjaw and be like, I'm assuming even snakes are invited.
Oh.
And just walk.
And because I was still technically like holding on just a little bit to Zogle, like my fingers. Like my grip, like it wasn't very strong in the first. Let's go, and she's kind of like worried. She's like,
Yeah. Yeah, so he leads you to your home, and normally, like, your home would be open to everyone, but as soon as the last family member walks in, the windows and any entrances are actually barred with large chunks of tree bark to prevent anyone else from entering and hearing this conversation. He turns to you and he says, "How are you involved with these hags?"
The girl, her father is very, very sick, incredibly sick with a disease that is looking to just destroy him from the inside out. I can't see someone in pain like that. I was offered an opportunity to take care of him and heal him for a price that is very small in comparison. Somebody's life seems to be more important than me delivering an asshole who's cursed, I'm assuming.
He kind of flares up at this, at the idea of you making a deal with the hags. And he says, "Did you even think before you made this deal? Do you understand how much power you're giving them?"
No, I didn't. I was thinking of, again, well-meant actions. Not the most logical and not the most thought-out plan, but what would you have done if it was one of your sons or one of your relatives?
Give me all the details. You don't have to give me all the details.
I give you all the details.
You give me all the details. Okay.
lay it on the table.
He's and as this sort of unnatural quiet has fallen over the Druid circle, and as you finish your story, and outside, Azure, Kyr'nes, and Endr are are standing in confusion and maybe fear. Your father says, we have some planning to do. And that's where we're going to call off the session for tonight, because we need to take care of some stuff.
And also, it's really hard to kill Owl without Owl being here.
Yeah, it will be pretty important for Zogle and Owl to be here. Everybody's important, obviously, but I can play you guys if it's not revolving around you. But yeah, Glacier, I recognize that I didn't give you a lot of stuff to do this session, and we'll get there, I promise.
Yeah, I have some things in line for the coming arc.
Good. And obviously, Razz, like think about your newfound religion and all that stuff. Matt, we're gonna have to have some conversations probably before the next session about like planning and things.
Okay. Should we plan for Sunday or Monday?
I mean, we should plan for Sunday. Today was like kind of because it's a holiday,
What is this upcoming Sunday, by the way?
That is the 9th. The 9th. Okay. Yes.
I think I can actually be here at Clutch as long as I take care of myself on Saturday.
Okay. Cool.
I'm essentially free as long as it's not in the morning.
Cool.
So.
What had me busy yesterday? 99%.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool. Okay, so do you guys want to do the things and then?
Holy crap! Razz can do her own outro.
I know. Finally.
I actually have to remember the name of my thing though, so give me a moment.
Oh, I know
Isn't
it.
it
I can
Razz's
tell
art
you.
corner?
Indeed, it is. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, it's Razz. I don't remember if there's any spaces or anything, so I need to
No
check.
spaces. It's all
Good
one Guam.
Good call.
Cool and good. Are y'all expecting me to start?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I actually have something to tag and I can actually do it myself this time because I'm here. But yeah, razzartcorner.tumblr.com is where I throw some art. I really haven't put that much art in yet, so it's not much. But if you want to look at my art, I might throw the picture of Kyr'nes' human form up there so y'all can see it. But yeah, that's me. I don't really do anything else. So
Fair.
Now it's everyone's favorite time. Glacier Nester takes an hour to talk about what he does. I'm Glacier Nester. I play Kyr'nes, the Dragonborn Sorcerer, and I do YouTube and Twitch, and it's a great time. Between this thing that we're doing right now and YouTube and Twitch, I have stuff all days but one day of the week. Right now, I do one produced video for YouTube, and that's right now we're playing what won my the season of my first impression series, but we'll see where that takes us. And then the rest of the videos on the YouTube channel are because of what I do on Twitch, because I play a variety game on Wednesday evenings, and I read public domain books on Fridays, and that's kind of my Twitch's flagship thing. It's my favorite show, honestly, and it's a great time.
And I mentioned H.G. Wells because it's one of the first books he read.
It's true. I did do War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
I did do War of the Worlds because it was a radio show originally, and then it moved to the internet because the radio booth kept locking me out. Anyway, we're probably gonna finish up Around the World in 80 Days this coming Friday. So if you're into that kind of thing, feel free to drop by. If you're not, there's always next week. We're gonna be moving on to something different. I don't know what book yet. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
cool.
That's my whole spiel. Oh, also, the variety game I'm playing on Wednesday right now is Oracle of Ages. So if you've been meaning to watch someone play the Game Boy Color Zelda games, hi, hello.
Hit me.
Anyway,
Cool.
that's my spiel. Working on making it last less.
Cool. I'm Kid Infinite. I stream here on Twitch 5 days a week. Mostly, most of the time, unless I fall asleep and sleep through stream. I play a variety of games. I've been playing Rainbow Six Siege lately, and I'm terrible at it, so that's fun. Also, he's not here tonight, but check out Sleeping Owl. He plays Azure, our bard. When we
There was a lack of witty one-liners.
Yeah, there was, wasn't there?
A little too quiet.
Yeah, he's a fun guy. He usually does all of our talking for us, and he does art streams sometimes. So check him out.
Hey, that means it's me. So obviously, if you're here, hi. This is Matthatter Plays. We stream 40 hours a week. Lately, we've been on a WoW spiel because League of Legends makes me want to kill myself. I mean, let's be honest here. So, otherwise, we're going to be streaming this on Sundays if I feel like not, sleeping.
I mean, if he doesn't stream it, there's also recordings that will exist eventually.
Yep, the second I can find literally any time at all in between all my other shit that I've been doing. I mean, if you can put together the banner, I can just give it to you.
If somebody hands me the banner, I can crank the stuff out.
Actually, I think it's just on the Discord. So you can
It's in
pull
the
it off.
Discord chat. I can do that in my spare time.
Yeah,
I have
it's
some processing
like
power lying
farther
around.
up there.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay. Otherwise, yeah. I'm gonna go play other video games, and I love you guys. Okay,
Love you too.
bye.
Boy.
Oh, you know what? We love you.
I do. Stop. No, don't start